What up, what up, what up, what up? It's me, L Teddy 27.
What's good tonight? Right about the hood.
Oh, dear God, I'm already eating a drink. Look a damn mess, just a damn mess. No means no, and yes means no. Hollywood spinning this little person on his meat like a potter at a potter's wheel, spinning the clay around on the potter's wheel. What up, what up, what up, what up, what up? What's good, people? What's up, what's up, what's up? It's me, L Teddy 27, and I'm back. We're back for another review. This is going to be our review for Put a Ring on It, Season 1, Episode 4. And it is entitled Open to the Process. Now, we start off. Wait, before we get started, special shout out. I want to give a special shout out to Officer Jackson. You know who you are. If you're watching this, special shout out to you, Officer Jackson. Appreciate you for my little gift that you gave me the other day. But yes, shout out to you, Officer Jackson. You know who you are. Love you. Anyway, want to get a special shout out to Officer Jackson. I know you're going to tell me when you see this about my shout out. Anyway, so we start off with Dr. Nicole. She's still having her private session with Ashley and Hollywood. And, you know, Dr. Nicole, in typical Dr. Nicole fashion, gets right down to the crux of the situation, which was the fact that Ashley's more mad at herself than she is Hollywood, because she's upset that she allowed herself to stay with Hollywood after he embarrassed her. And I can relate. I can understand. I think anybody could understand how you might harbor those feelings. So I think that was very relatable. I love how Dr. Nicole, she don't hold no punches. She get right down to the business. And so that allowed them to unpack a whole lot. And then we later find out later in the episode that even after Dr. Nicole left, after they had their private session, they had even more good sound conversation and talk between Ashley and Hollywood, which allowed them to grow and move and see. It doesn't definitively mean that they're going to be together, but what it does mean is that they are opening themselves up to this process, which is supposed to either help. Excuse me, y'all. I'm sorry. I just drank some ginger ale and it already got me belching. Sorry. So rude. Anyway, but this process is supposed to help them get closer to where they are with their mate. So I just love that interaction there. So then we see Vince goes on his date with this chick named Jazzy. She is a beautiful girl. Let me just say that first. She's a very pretty chocolate, dark-skinned, black African queen. Okay. Yeah, she was a very pretty lady. And this coming from me, but she was. They seem to it seemed though more like a sit down between good friends rather than a date where there was a connection going on, if you get what I'm saying. She seemed like, you know, somebody who I could be really good friends with. Child, we could be good Judies, travel around the city of Atlanta. She did say she had a radio show. This little thread is just gonna bother me because I don't know, it's just stupid. It just won't go away. Anyway, uh y'all don't pay me no mind. So anyway, but I feel like she could be somebody that I could ride around Atlanta with. Her voice did give me radio. Like, she gives me that female voice on the radio that you'd like to hear on the radio. So I really liked her, but I don't know that I saw a connection between those two in that sense, in a erogenous sense. Michael and Shay are then at home. We learned that Michael has a 12-year-old son named Zion. Let's get right down to it. Shay is not open to the fact that so Zion is in middle school. Zion's mom and Michael have talked about Zion moving in with Michael when Zion gets into high school. Great. Love it. Seen it happen a lot of times. And I think it is important that, you know, especially a young man, he does get a point to stay with his father, and especially in those formative years. So Shay is not here for it. Shay wants no parts of Zion living with Michael. She's okay if he come to visit for the summer, but she was like, living with us? Mm-mm. This is a no-win situation. Listen, there's no negotiations when it comes to children. When you know the person you with got a child, there's no negotiating about whether or not their child can or cannot stay with them. That's a non-negotiable. Listen, let me tell you something, Trey. Shay. This whole I'm not gonna even go down this road because I'll let all of the mothers in the chat go in. But Shay, you're trash. You are trash. Because the fact that you call yourself wanting to marry this man, knowing that this man has a 12-year-old son, and then have any angst or any apprehension about that man having his son live with him, you are trash. And if I was Michael, I would throw you the hell out right away. Baby, You are trash. There's no way you can tell me you love this man, knowing that has a child, but you don't want his son living with him. Girl, you are trash. Shay, you are trash in every sense of the word. Anyway, moving on, because that almost got me mad. Excuse me. So then we see Hollywood goes on a date with this girl named Passionate. Now, y'all know I'm an eclectic music, person. I listen to all types of music. Y'all know what song came in my head when her name popped up on screen? Passionate. I thought of this song by Mary Chapin Carpenter called "Passionate Kisses." Passionate kisses, whoa, whoa, passionate kisses from you. Don't ask me why I know that song. Don't ask me why that's the song that came in my head when I saw that girl's name. Shouts out to you, Mary Chapin Carpenter. Anyway, I know y'all judging me in the comment section, and that's fine. We're gonna continue on. They played Jenga, and he kept commenting on the fact that she was real tall, and you could tell he's intimidated by her height. You can tell, and we've seen this from the first episode. Michael is someone who likes to be in charge. He's aggressive. He's assertive. He's aggressive. He likes to be dominant. He likes to be in charge. So I knew right away when he talked about how tall she was, because at first I couldn't really tell how tall she was. I wonder if she's really tall or he's really short. But that's a whole other conversation. Anyway, but he did not like that, and I could tell this wasn't gonna go too far. He claimed he let her win, even though he told us in the green screen that he had never played Jenga because he grew up in the project. But then all of a sudden, now you're an expert at Jenga, and you let her win. Sit down somewhere. Which one is it? Which one is it? She got a 7-year-old daughter, and I really liked her vibe. Like I really liked her vibe, but I don't know if she was the right type of Hollywood. She seems like a woman who knows who she is. She knows what she wants. She's not the woman that is going to let you take her on the journey. She's going to go on the journey with you side by side. I don't think that's the type of woman that Hollywood needs. Then we see Michael goes on his date with this girl named Whitney. Once again, they got these people showing up at these people's front doors. Y'all gonna get somebody fucked up. Y'all is gonna get somebody fucked up because y'all over here playing. Y'all playing too many games with this knocking on people's doors. Anyway, she says she wants him to focus on her intellect and not really how she looked. But girl, you came there in a halter top with your belly out and your shoulders out. Make it make sense. Anyway, they went to a hookah bar. Listen, there was definite chemistry and connection there. You saw it immediately. Michael opened up with her more than we've seen him open up with Shay. Maybe that's the magic of editing. But child, it did not look good for you, Shay. When I saw this day, I immediately knew, yeah, this gonna be a problem. I immediately knew I said this gonna be a problem. So then we saw Dr. Nicole went and had a private session with Tamika and Vince. And you know Dr. Nicole, they got some deep issues. And Dr. Nicole got right down to it. She said, hey, boo, you keep doing all of this. Oh, don't worry about it. That's okay. But it's not okay. It is something that they need to worry about. And you're not letting it go. Baby, she let her know. She's sending out mixed messages. There's no way they can get over their issues if she's not being clear, and she's not being open, and she's not telling what her issues are. I would love to, like I keep saying this every week, I'd love to see the conversations that Dr. Nicole have with them off camera, because I know she be getting them together. You could just tell she be getting them right on together. So then we see the three guys, they meet up and play cards and have drinks. Like I said, Michael admitted he really likes the Whitney girl. Now I wrote in my notes that I don't think he's going to go on a second date with her. This is what I wrote at that time. That I didn't think he was going to go on a second date with her because he thought he'd be cheating on Shay. That's what I wrote. Put a bookmark on that. Anyway, so then we go traveling down this little rabbit hole where Hollywood tells us about his fetishes. So one of the fetishes was that he wants to have a threesome. And he wants the threesome to be with two women outside of Ashley. I was like, bruh, what fantasy world you living in? I was like, you do know Ashley is going to see this. You do know that, right? Child, a mess. And then he talked about he has this fetish of sleeping with a little person. Tell me why I envisioned Hollywood spinning this little person on his meat like a potter at a potter's wheel, spinning the clay around on a potter's wheel. Yeah, I had to gift y'all with that mental picture, like the one that I had in my head when that came, when that to us. I'm just saying, you're welcome for the wonderful mental pictures that you're now having floating through your brain. Had to give y'all a second to finish having that mental picture. Anyway, back down to Dr. Nicole's office. So now all the couples meet up. So Ashley and Hollywood, they both you show growth this week. They both allowed each other to just, hey, you go on your date, you have a good time. You go on your date, you have a good time. I'm going to really fully explore this person, explore this date, and see what I like and what I don't like. And so, like I said earlier, they, after the private session with Dr. Nicole, they really started to listen to each other and hear each other and try to do the things that need to be done to get past the issues that they're having with one another. Tamika and Vince then talked about their dates, and to me, they did the same things that the other couples did on their first dates, where they were so in their heads about how the other person was going to feel and think, and they were so concerned about their mate that they didn't even allow themselves to enjoy the other person like they may have been able to. Right? They really didn't allow themselves to enjoy the date fully. Then, baby, we got to Shay and Michael, honey. We find out that Michael exchanged numbers with Whitney and they have been texting. Baby, I said, what? Now, Michael, you crossed the line. You crossed the line. You went too far. You wasn't supposed to take it down. But he had to listen. Michael did one of the Fanny. He did like Fanny said, I had to take it there. I had to take it there because I'm tired. Okay, like Fanny said, I had to take it there. I had to take it there because I'm tired. Okay. But nah, you shouldn't have took it there, Michael. And then we come to find out he did not end up going out with her, but he and the chick have been texting, and he's really exploring to see whether or not the feelings that he had on the date with the chick are really genuine, unbeknownst to Shay. Now, as horrible as Shay is, and as much as trash as Shay may be, you crossed the line, Michael. Yeah, you kind of crossed the line. And I think between Shay and her feelings about his son and him and what he did by exchanging numbers with the Whitney girl, y'all need to just stop playing with each other and let this go. I already see where this is going. If y'all end up together, that's a recipe for disaster. Y'all are both trash if y'all end up with each other. Anyway, so Dr. Nicole, and you know, she really unpacked a lot of stuff, especially with Tamika and Vince, because they are just catching up and they needed probably the most from her, and she really started to unpack some things with them. Vince was crying and so forth and so on. So it was a really good session with Dr. Nicole. So then we find out about the second dates. So nobody took the second dates. Ashley and Hollywood did take the second dates. Vince and Tamika did not take their second date with their people. But when they got to Shay and Michael, before she went to Michael first, before Michael could answer, it went on from there. And so we do not know if Michael gonna take the second date with that chick. Listen, it went on from there. Ooh, excuse me, y'all. This is so nasty. This ginger ale got me. It was good this week. I really enjoyed this week's episode. I really did enjoy this week's episode. Dr. Nicole, if you should happen to watch this, which I don't know if you ever will, but if you do, you know, hook a brother up. I might need some therapy sessions. I got some things going on in my head. Can you call a brother? Hit me up with a DM. You know, somewhere around me is flashing my contact information. Dr. Nicole, hit a brother up. I need help. Don't I look like I need help? Dr. Nicole, call me. I'm in the Atlanta area. Girl. Anyway, until next week, y'all, that's all I got for y'all. Thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely out.